Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Robot Wars. This is episode... I lost count.
10, I
10.
think.
Episode 10. And after last time, when Dinsdale got shafted by the judges pretty damn hard, we've decided to come back and bring in the real hard gods, Doug. Armed with an axe and sarcasm. So
And headlights.
In an effort to make sure that we don't get shafted by the judges, again, we've deliberately tried to make him as much like Mortis as possible.
But now we're going up against Morticon.
We're much more Mortis-like than he is. And for those who don't know, in Robot Wars, there were a few instances of judges and producers playing blatant favorites. And one of the robots that they played favorites for the most was Mortis. Particularly in Series 2, when they had an incident with Napalm.
Yeah. The fault about it is that during the semi-finals, there was a special challenge round where...
I can't get off the opening hatches.
Oh dear.
Enjoy the fish!
Did we win?
Just wait. Don't exit the bout.
Yeah, not
We
going
have
to.
to wait
I think
for
they
it.
were immobilized before we were.
Yeah, but if you exit, that's gonna
Yeah.
count it as like you giving up.
Yay!
Yeah,
It's all
I've
so
I've
back...
had that happen before, and
Yeah.
that was terrible.
So, as we were explaining, in Series 2, it wasn't just like pure combat rounds. The first two Robot Wars, you had to do like various challenges and things also. Like to qualify, the combat only happened at the end of each. And,
Yeah,
sorry.
you want me to explain it?
Yeah, continue.
Okay. In Series 2 semi-finals, there's two sort of challenge rounds. There's the Gauntlet, which is a race to the finish, an obstacle course, and the second one was different every time except for the semi-finals. In the semi-finals, it was more of a pinball course. Have all the hazards, house robots, you've got a little teeter-totter, and basically the objective was to cause as much destruction as you can.
Yeah, you
There-
got points for like hitting certain obstacles and so forth in the arena.
Yeah, and they turned it into a regular feature at I think it was Series 4 where they turned it into a regular feature, the Pinball Warrior Tournament.
Yeah, as a side thing to the main championship.
But anyway, during this semi-final, there were two robots. Well, there was multiple robots. One of them was Napalm. Napalm was not the best robot.
Napalm was a piece of shit.
Did the Dartford Girls crew ever have like a good robot?
Shadow of Napalm was better.
Well, there's a lot of teams that make better robots than their last ones.
But anyway, during this round, Mortis drove onto the spikes came up, and Mortis was out. But the judges ruled that they hadn't said we'd use the spikes.
Yeah. The
And
spikes
let
weren't
Mortis-
supposed to be in play.
Yeah.
And Mortis lost it, punctured one of Mortis's treads. Because Mortis is a robot that runs on tank treads, and it ruptured one of the tracks. Because in Series 2, the arena spikes were far too powerful. Or was that Series 3?
I don't
Series-
remember.
Yeah, Series 3 had the
Series
really
3.
powerful spikes.
Series 2 was House Robots Ruin Everything.
Yeah.
because
they
they were
had
way too aggressive.
because they had the perimeter patrol zone in that instead of the corner patrol zone. So the house robot zone was the entire edge of the arena.
And once you went into it, it was essentially giving all the house robots a blank check to just destroy you.
Yeah. Incidentally, you know what's really destroying me is the fucking camera.
But yeah, Mortis was allowed a second go, and because of that, Napalm was eliminated, and the driver of Mortis,
Yeah.
Rob Naylor,
Rob Knight.
actually
Rob Knight.
Rob Knight, sorry, basically quit that episode in protest,
Yeah.
saying, "Well, I'm not driving this."
Yeah.
And they ended up losing to Panic Attack, who went on to win.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
Yeah. Because the producers, Mortis said no, we'll buy out and everything, but the producers said no, you have to take another, the force and do it, and Rob Knight was just went, right, fuck you, we're handing it over to the engineer instead of the driver, and he didn't really know how to drive Mortis at all, but the fact that Napalm got eliminated upset quite a lot of people, especially because it was a team of teenage schoolgirls and their teacher, and that it's like
It's a movie sort of thing.
yeah, it was, and they thought they were through and everything, and then they get back and eliminated, and it looked really bad.
Yeah, it's like there's certain situations where the other team just can't look good.
Yeah.
It's like I was watching one episode recently where it's like it happened like 2 times now in Series 5, which I'm watching right now. It was like where one of the kids that was on the team just straight up started crying when they lost.
Yeah.
And it's like you can't do anything when that happens. You just look like an asshole.
Yeah. But at the same time, it's like it is Robot Wars.
Yeah.
And it's like, and it's like
I think the
Robot
Stinger...
Wars, I should explain, Robot Wars had an awful lot of family teams on it.
Yeah.
It was a lot of family teams, a lot of kids were in with their parents. It was a great thing. It was a great thing for the show and the community and the attitude and everything about it. It's just sometimes you ended up with children crying on TV, which I don't.
Doug lose?
Doug didn't do any better than Dinsdale.
And again to the Axemaster. Again.
Dead Metal was fucking determined.
He did not like it.
No, sir. Yeah, well. Well, that's been our history lesson on Robot Wars.
Yeah. So I think we'll just throw Doug in again.
Fuck it, yeah, sure.
I don't want to be bothered making another robot.
With certain
excuse me.
With certain robots, it's like you just have to keep trying until they don't get flipped.
You know what? I just had a thought. Thor would actually qualify for this. We could try bringing Thor in for a round.
That would be terrible. We should do
it. Mr. Weebles wobble, but he doesn't fall down.
I mean, Thor he's a super heavyweight that only has a swinging weapon.
Or will the twirly spikes count as a static weapon?
I don't know if they count as a weapon.
No, they count as a weapon. If they fall off and you repair them, it comes under the weapon.
I don't think I've ever seen them.
What in the fuck is happening?
You got flipped.
Yeah, no, I mean, what did you? What?
All I saw was spazzing out.
Physics happened.
Please. Newton, please.
Shut up.
No. Ah, Got him!
Yeah, there we go.
Yay!
That gate is not an appropriate safety barrier for the audience.
Is it worse than the oil rig little room?
The oil rig little room had windows. Like, it at least had something to stop the shrapnel.
Well, I mean, apparently never safety in that whole shit was always kind of an afterthought when it came to Robot Wars. At least it took several things to go wrong for them to start really working on that.
Yeah, but I mean, like, even in Series 1 and everything, they still had, like, the plexiglass screen around the audience. Like, there were a lot of, like, safety feelings and stuff, everything, but they, like, at least keeping a barrier around the audience was something they always did, right from the get-go. They weren't that dumb.
I guess it's growing pains from expanding to other areas in the world. Sometimes they just... The people in charge are just terrible.
Yeah, and, like, especially since this is Germany. Like, there is no way in hell you are allowed to have a thing like this in Germany without, like, proper safety barriers around the audience. Like, holy shit, like, Germany is really strict about those things.
Yeah, that's what some of the few. Germany is really strict about a lot of things.
Yeah, but I mean, like, mechanical regulations and stuff is
Yeah.
especially.
Tell me about it. I lived there.
Yeah.
Well, they're
I mean,
strict about mechanical regulations until it inconveniences them.
There was a
Volkswagen.
There was a purely German series of Robot Wars, I think, that existed. Like, one that actually was made
Yeah.
by Germans for the German RTL2 channel. Let's see if I can...
Yeah, I'm sure it exists because there was a German robot on one of the, like, World Championship things.
Yeah. If you find it, like, share a couple of clips in the thread, if you find it. We'll not worry about it right now.
Because Doug Piranha is moving on up against...
Yeah, we might not have to bring Thor in on this. We might be able to get away without using Thor. I mean, not that I have much hope for Thor, because I can't fucking drive the thing, but...
You don't need to drive for you just...
I can't drive most things, let's be fair. I am not good at this. Like, I mean, there's a lot of instances of the game just being, like, fuckery, but, like, there's also a good deal of this is my own incompetence.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see the later tournaments, you know, when TV robots actually start showing up with somewhat regularly.
Yeah, we've had Thor turn up a couple of times, and
Yeah, but
that's the
Thor
only
is
one.
shit.
That's the only one that's turned up so far. I think, particularly because a lot of the tournaments have had, like, really heavy entry restrictions.
Yeah, you're not gonna see, like, Pussycat in this one.
I mean, Pussycat theoretically could have qualified for the Iron Fist tournament.
Yeah, but I don't think it... Not yet in the... I think with New York is where it starts.
Yeah, because none of them can show up in Brazil because of the
Cost
Entry fee.
requirement.
yeah, the limits on how expensive.
What are you trying to do?
Shove him in a dead metal.
Like even Dietor, who is the cheapest of the TV robots, or the actual real robots, is still too expensive for Brazil. Because Dietor costs 5,140, I think.
That's a shame.
And like,
Because that would have been the perfect.
I mean, and you have to spend a lot to like buy Chaos 2 and everything. When it's pretty funny because like Chaos 2 only cost like £250 to build. Chaos 2 was like really cheap for a robot that good.
Well, this is really cheap, period. And then you get, what was it? It was 101?
Yeah. Named for a lot of, wasn't it that they thought it was named for like how cheap it was, but it was actually just named because like the little girl's favorite movie was 101 Dalmatians.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I mean, but it's like you say. It's
Yeah,
like,
that they were a father-daughter team.
It turns out that 101 wasn't actually named because that way because it cost only one
£1 and a penny.
a pound and a penny, but it actually cost about £5.
Yeah.
So
It was
Which is
still
still
incredibly cheap, yeah. It's like it was just made from salvage parts.
uh oh.
Yeah, I know. There's nothing I can do about it. Fuck you!
I figured it was gonna
Well,
happen.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Return of Thor.
This is gonna be fun. Unless I was right and it actually can't enter.
We'll see. Oh, I can't afford them.
You're gonna have to sell off Doug.
The game is nice enough about like keeping every single robot that you sell.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually a
Like
really
that.
nice feature. Like,
Come on. Fuck! Yeah, you were right.
Yeah, I figured the horns count as weapons.
if we had Terahertz, he'd be good for this.
Well,
Uh,
ladies and gentlemen, I think that'll do it for this episode.
Rob, do you have anything to say about this?
I have one thing to say about the judges and their scores. They can go right fuck themselves here on Let's Play Robot Wars.
Yay, there we go.
Bye-bye.